What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. In this video, we're going to be showing a Q&A that I did live on my Instagram at Hejnasty, at Hejnasty. You can check these out over there. Usually I'll do them at like Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. My client that's going to be coming on is Kevin. He crushed the 12-week Healthy Flesh Prescription program, dropping over 20 pounds, dropped 6 inches on his waist, and also added an inch to his arms at the same time as accomplishing those. So he completely crushed it. And one of the really cool things about this transformation is also not only the physical transformation, but the mental one. So Kevin, he was really happy about his results, was going to a lot of EDC festivals and stuff, and was just rocking his new body. So he's very happy about it, and I'm very excited to share this with you guys. And he's going to give a couple of his secrets of how he made this transformation happen in the program. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you'd like to apply for my coaching, the Healthy Flesh Prescription Program, you can go to the link right here, hejnasty.com/coaching. You can apply, and we'll get right back to you. And then also, I hope you saw his transformation was pretty awesome. So hope to hear from you guys soon, and enjoy this video. Peace. First, to start things off, well, everyone who's watching, this is Kevin. This is one of my clients. And also, if you keep hearing me say Kevon, I think he has one of the best Instagram handles I know. And it says, what's your Instagram handle?
Get your Kevon.
Amazing. Amazing. So let's start things off. With just like a quick introduction. Everyone knows your name is Kevin. But I want to start you off with what do you do for a living? What's your occupation? What's kind of like your work schedule like?
So I work right now at a hospital as a respiratory therapist. I just finished school previously, like the last year, so this is all just new, but I'm pretty much full-time at my hospital right now. So working 12-hour shifts, like 3, maybe sometimes 4 days a week.
Crazy, crazy. All right, so working these really long, these 12-hour shifts, and probably I want to go specifically into that actually. So during these 12-hour shifts, just like 13, 14 weeks ago, compared to now, do you feel like your energy is more consistent throughout, or have you noticed any changes with these long, demanding shifts?
Definitely there is a change in energy that I have experienced from like just changing my whole diet around. Everything feels more natural and clean. It's more consistent than like before I have to eat to get energy. And even then, it's just kind of like I can get mood swings here and there.
Okay, cool, cool. So it's good to hear that, like, not only physical, because I think everyone's seeing your transformation. It's not just physical, but also mental and the energy that comes with these kinds of transformations and getting your fitness right. So where were you before the program? So take us back like 12 weeks ago. How were you doing with like your fitness just in general?
So my fitness just actually kind of stopped when I went back to school maybe 2 years ago. I did a little bit of CrossFit here and there, just like maybe a couple of times, and I was like in pretty fair shape. But once I went back to school, I had no more time. I started to stress eat. I had like a post breakup, so that made me eat even more. So everything just started to get like a little bit worse for me, and then I started to gain like a lot of pounds, and I just hated the way that I felt. I was like super insecure. I started to deal with a lot of self-image problems, and that's what kind of sparked me to want to like make the change.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Well, I'm happy that you had that spark to kind of make that change. So what would you say, what was that final straw kind of? Like, what was like, all right, it's time to make a change. It's time to commit to a program and get like a plan in place. What kind of was that last straw for you?
So I think what really hit me like was the realization was like, okay, I am fatter right now, and if I don't make like an effort to change that, I'm just gonna get even more fatter, like from here on out. So that's what kind of drove me to want to like push myself to get better, get back in shape, and then to really just get confidence again, like in myself as a person.
And was that mission accomplished?
It has, yes, it has really. This last month of like reaping and all these like rewards, like I've been getting so much compliments, so it just feels like a whole, like a whole different kind of person. So it blows my mind to see like how much I've grown from just 3 months.
Awesome, awesome. I know that makes me so happy because that's why I love doing these Q&As, because we're just celebrating your results, and I love to hear kind of the
Yeah.
deeper things, that you're feeling so confident, and that's going to just play into everything else. So that's awesome, and I'm happy that you did make that initial like that push. You're like, all right, enough is enough, and something like kind of a mindset that I like this mindset for myself. If I'm not progressing, I'm regressing, or I'm missing out on an opportunity to progress. So
Exactly.
if tomorrow I sleep in, I don't do my training, that's a day that I could have made progress, but ultimately maybe in some cases you can take a step back. So I think that we all have so much potential in us, but we got to take the bull by the horns. We got to get that work done and take those steps forward, which this the past 12 weeks you took 84 steps forward because every day you
Yeah.
were making it happen. I mean, there were, I think, some festivals, but I mean,
Yes.
overall, you were crushing it. Cool. So how did you find me? Because it was about like kind of the perfect storm. You're like, I'm ready to make a change. How did you
Yeah.
find me?
So I've been following you for a while on Instagram, and I really look up to you for fitness. And I don't know too many people who are taller and like very well built. So that's one reason why I looked, for you as inspiration. And it kind of just like you said, it happened like at the perfect time for me because I was finished with school, I got a job at hospital, and now with all this free time, I'm ready to get back into fitness. And then you started to post like a lot of transformation pictures of like all of your clients, and a lot of them had like pretty drastic changes. So that was like such a positive thing to see. And then I was like, well, I'm at this point, I'm ready for a change, so why not give it a shot?
And now, and it came full circle. Now you're one of those like visually drastic
Yeah.
transformations. So other people are going to be like, damn, look at Kev getting his Kev on. And now they want to get in there. So I love to see that a lot of my clients are inspired by these to join the program. And 12 weeks later, they're like, thank Dennis or Kev Greco or whoever inspired them at first. And then 12 weeks later, and it's really cool to like check in on them.
Yeah.
So that is awesome that this is how you found it. So I like asking this question. So of course, this is the online space. This is online coaching. And everyone watching, there's no barrier to entry for being an online coach, no qualifications. So you're really taking a chance here. Why did you choose online coaching as opposed to the tried and true personal training route?
Yeah. So I wanted to choose you to, okay, so let's just put, for instance, we're at our gym, and there's plenty of like fitness trainers there. But the thing is like they're not really in like their their best shape, and I didn't really think like, oh, that's like kind of the trainer I would want. And plus,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I look up to you as a trainer, and I wanted to pick someone with a similar body type as me, someone that's taller and that could be built. So that's one reason why I wanted to try like whatever workout program you're currently on.
Awesome. So yeah, it's kind of does come down to that practice how you preach, and like I know there's different different opinions on the quote unquote don't hire a fat personal trainer, but a side note is you kind of want someone who's battle tested, that's kind of tried it out for themselves. Because for me, I wouldn't start coaching others until I mastered myself. I can get
Hmm.
myself repeatable results, and then I started taking on free clients, wanted to get them results. Then I started getting into the coaching space and started making a business out of it. So I think kind of on that same vein, if you are a personal trainer, like your body is going to be your best advertisement. You got to understand, you got to get these principles mastered and make your physique your ad. Because
Hmm.
if you're in shape, you can probably, I mean, if you get that experience with it, you can get other people's to repeat those when you understand the principles. So I like having a battle tested coach. So it's really cool that I appreciate that you trusted in me because I'm a little taller. So let's see. So I want to get into where you are now.
Yeah.
So we kind of touched on it a little bit mentally, but first I want to talk about the physical. So physically where you are now, and I got to pull up your sheet to make sure we can actually give everyone kind of some background information on like how hard we had to dig, because you dropped
Yeah.
you dropped 6 inches off the waist. That is just nutty in
Yeah,
12
that is
weeks.
insane. Yeah.
All right. So, okay. So where you are physically right now. So we're going to say, so dropped 20 pounds, went from about 180 to a little under 160. That's in 12 weeks.
Hmm.
Went from a 37-inch waist down to a 31-inch waist. So definitely major progress there. And then also, I think we added an inch to your biceps as well,
Yeah,
correct?
it was. Yeah.
Cool,
So for
cool.
me, like this whole journey with like physical wise, like it was kind of rough because I didn't start seeing any kind of progress till like a little over halfway. And that was a little like, a little, it kind of put me in a bad mood at the beginning because I'm just like, oh, I'm working so hard, I'm eating right, like why am I not seeing anything? But that just comes down to like, you have to be patient with yourself because, change is not gonna happen, that fast. But over time, like it's just gonna like kind of skyrocket for me. Like after like month two, that's why like month three was my favorite because I'm just like reaping in with all these rewards. Like I'm finally losing weight. I'm finally seeing results. Like my muscles are coming in, and that was such like probably like such a great relieving feeling, finally to see all that excess body fat get shut off.
100%. And also, like, when you're losing weight, eventually it's like you're getting smaller and smaller, and then you start like kind of getting into like the muscles, and then you start building that definition because you're kind of catching in that hard work in the gym, the strength
Yeah.
training, and then we're starting to drop fat in between, and you get that toned look, that
Mm.
muscular look. So that's awesome. That and also you got to celebrate those times you were at a festival with your shirt off, crushing it.
I was, yeah. So that's why, like I said, like the last month was my favorite because I did go to a music festival. I went to EDC, and that was really cool because that was almost like my big reveal because it was kind of like, okay, now I'm like shirtless. People are giving me compliments, and I'm getting like really good feedback from like strangers and other people. So that was like a big turnout because, like I said, I was dealing with a lot of personal like insecurities at the beginning of this program. So that was just like my full like turnaround.
Awesome, awesome. I love hearing that, and I'm happy that you were able to walk around this event, and of course, be confident, be comfortable in your own skin, confident, and of course, like because you worked hard for that, so that's great. I want to talk about how we got there because losing for like a
Yeah.
lot of people, losing 20 pounds in 12 weeks, I mean, 6 inches off the waist, it's crazy. But I want to give everyone context to like how hard you really pushed yourself because
Mm.
I didn't do the work. You were the one who followed the game plan, and you did the work. And there is definitely what is the word? A discipline
Mhm.
aspect to it. So how
Yeah.
far we had to dig in terms of macros, we went down to, I think pretty much daily was 30 fat, 125 carb, and 150 protein. That is 1370 calories. So pretty
Mhm.
low. We had to dig pretty good. And
Yeah.
also, how much cardio were we doing a week? 1,015?
Cardio, 1,015, yeah. 1,000,
1,500?
yeah, 1,500.
Okay, 1,500. So yeah, so we also were pushing it in there, also training like 4 to 5 times a week. So Kev was getting his Kev on. He was pushing
Yeah,
it.
because like I said, like, when we got to like the halfway part of the program and I'm like not seeing as big of results, I was like, okay, I have to like really push it now. Like, let's just push myself a little bit more every week. And then that's just kind of like where we got to like those macros and, all that cardio. So it was definitely a lot of grind. And then something I do recommend for other people if they're trying to lose like a lot of weight as well is like try doing intermittent fasting because I think that's what started for me. Like I started that maybe month two, and I only had like a window time frame when I could eat. And not only is this great for like controlling like what you eat, how much you eat, but as well as like you said, it's building that self-discipline up. And that's what's
Mhm.
really, really important for you to succeed with this.
100%. And also, like I accidentally intermittent fasted. I think yesterday because I had to fast going into the research study because I can't
Mm.
eat going up to that. So didn't have my first meal until like 10 a.m. And when I got home for dinner, I was like, "What do I do with all these calories? I can eat whatever." But I didn't load my fridge with anything, so it was so
Yeah.
boring. But 100% that helps with adherence and having that meal to look forward to. So I really like that strategy because you were really successful with it.
Mhm.
Um, so in terms of, because we showed you had to dig in terms of your numbers, what was like your go-to meal that made hitting these numbers kind of easy for you, easier?
So I laugh because my whole diet, basically, my go-to meal was Chipotle. That was my meal I had every single day since I started the program. And I chose Chipotle because, it's fresh ingredients. It hits majority of my macros. And, it just makes everything more convenient. It takes away the
Mhm.
cooking, the cleaning, and it just tastes really good. I'm still not sick of Chipotle. I still eat Chipotle every day.
I notice as I get leaner, I go to Chipotle more and more. It's,
Hmm.
I mean, it's just really easy, and I'm with you. I don't like cleaning up
It
at
is.
all.
Yeah.
So what was well actually kind of that plays into that's your go-to meal and it's kind of a little bit of an indulgence or do you have any other things that maybe you would indulge on or like you're kind of
Yeah.
like cap off type meals?
So there were a couple of snacks that were like my go-to. So there was like Chipotle I had as like my main meal for like dinner, let's say for that. But then during the day I'll have like a light breakfast. I had eaten like I got this toast from Target. It's called Dave's Killer Bread, and it's
Heard
like
of
a
it.
raisin bread. It has like really great macros. I wrote it down. Oh, raisin bread. Let's see, 90 calories, like 1 gram of fat, 17 grams of carbs, and like 4 grams of protein. And it tastes really good. So I had that with like egg whites and then that's usually my morning breakfast. And then I always eat like maybe like a bowl of fruit as well. And then Costco has some really great snacks. There was like this dried apple crisp that I would eat as
Mm.
well. There's that one, and then there's this new thing I got was like lentil turmeric crackers, which is pretty good. Has like flaxseed, sesame seed, and chia seeds. So yeah, I
Okay,
mean, it was
you
all
had
like
your
discovering
snacks.
little things. Yeah, I mean, I had my snacks. As long as I had my main meal, I was good. And then after that, try to work in whenever I felt like the slight, you know, impulse of like hunger.
Awesome, awesome. So it sounds like, yeah, you had a pretty good an arsenal of snacks right there. So that's cool to hear. So Chipotle, and also like Chipotle for anyone, that's a really easy way to hit your fiber with like I double up on beans. You can get your lettuce with it, get the side of fajita vegetables, and and then also salsa, and you've already got 2 to 3 servings of vegetables right there. So good
Yeah.
variety. And that's why I like going to Chipotle and I can knock out a bunch of my vegetables, get a one thing they lack is a really, really lean protein source. I'm still banking on them to come up with shrimp one day. Just
Yeah.
keep on waiting for that. But definitely something
I
all around you can fit.
Yeah. With my Chipotle, I always get like 1 scoop of chicken and 1 scoop of steak. So it's like
Okay.
double the protein.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. So I got like pretty much one more question for you.
Yeah.
And then anyone who has a question for Kev, definitely leave that down below because we're going to get into some questions that have been submitted. Because also 6 inches off the waist, that is no joke, and that's also a testament to how much training, how much you push yourself in terms of training and hit those PRs.
Yeah.
So what would you say? What would you tell? So like 15 weeks ago, when you were maybe struggling a little bit with getting your fitness underway, what would be your one tip you would tell your old self? Imagine you didn't get into the program. What was
Yeah.
like the one tip now, knowing what you know now, that you would tell your old self to focus on?
Well, definitely. The very first thing, like the greatest thing I took away from this was all the information I got about nutrition. So what I would tell my old self is just really just focus on, eating cleaner, eating right, because what you eat really does affect like your mood, and your body especially. And for the long run, if you don't want, if you want to avoid like health problems along the road, so
Body
focus.
composition is huge there.
Mm.
It's the 80-20 principle, or I forgot the word, but some guy has the 80-20 principle. But like keeping your body composition in a healthy range, that can help you with like a ton of long-term health issues. So just getting that, then also exercising, you're going to be in a really good spot long-term for longevity. Um, so I got a couple questions for you that were submitted. So Joyful Page 18 said, "What is your diet plan?" So I guess the way I want you to tackle this would be, because we
Yeah.
talked about what your macros were, but
Mhm.
take us through like maybe a normal day of eating. Like what would you Tuesday? What would you eat today?
Mhm. So I wake up and right before the gym, I'm gonna have like that couple of bread places. That's usually what I'll eat before the bread, just to get some energy in. And then after my workout, that's when I'll have like my first meal, which is gonna be egg whites. I have veggies. I have a bowl of fruit, and I could either interchange between like the cereal that I'm eating with like multigrain oats and stuff like that. And then I'm pretty much fasting all the way till my last meal, which would be like around 9, and that's like my Chipotle meal. And that's usually going to set me over. So it definitely took a lot of time because I had a lot of snacks in between these windows and even after, like just to get me through that hunger. But once like I'm here now, like I'm not craving as much as it is now.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So you kind of use Chipotle as kind of like what you would cap the day off
Yeah.
with. Okay, cool. So
Something to
always
look forward to. Yeah.
yes, yes. I love that for me, like that kind of mindset of like, okay, if we can stick to the game plan to a good extent. At 8 p.m., 9 p.m., we're gonna have some Chipotle, and that's gonna be a great time. So it's easier to psychologically deal with the hunger throughout the day because it's like, okay, at some point today we're gonna have a good time
hmm
because Chipotle wins.
Yes.
Um, so Alex, shout out to Alex Cedro. Um, how was EDC and what did you eat while partying all night?
Oh God, dude. Like I say oh God because EDC ruined my diet. And I do have to share this part because it was actually a big, it did turn out actually really well for me. So during the whole weekend, I tried getting like a gym pass at a couple of different ones, but they denied me because I'm not a local resident. So I basically did not work out the whole weekend. And my friends, were just eating junk food the whole entire weekend, like Popeyes, pizza, and like sushi, dim sum. Like it's a lot of unhealthy stuff. So I felt super guilty coming back from EDC, and like I just I was so afraid to like even get on the scale because I'm like, oh God, how much weight did I gain, you know? But when you get to the point at the end where it's like you've developed such a hard working like metabolism and then you're eating right, like the changes are going to be drastic. I only gained like maybe like a pound or two from eating unhealthy and not working that weekend. And it was kind of nice because that following week, from all that food I ate, it pushed me to kind of just do more at the gym. I was lifting more. I was feeling better. And I was like, holy crap, like these gains are coming out of nowhere. So I think, you know, you kept telling me this too, like eating unhealthy once in a while is not.
I think I lost you for a sec.
Oh, eating, if you have like one unhealthy meal, it's not going to break like your whole cycle of eating healthy. So it's okay if you just break it, you know? So it actually worked out for me because I pushed myself more and I gained more the following week.
Awesome, awesome. And that's what's something you can do in the long term. If we got to swear off, like, because EDC is going to happen, events are going to happen, good food
Yeah.
happens. Honestly,
Yeah.
I know all of our grandmas, they like to bake for us, and like holidays
Yeah.
happen. So it's good to be able to fit that in moderation and then also understand how to drop that 1 to 2 pounds that happens when we have a vacation, a holiday, and just understanding the principles we have in control. And I think it worked out really well for you specifically, Kevin, because you had EDC, you got to maybe indulge in some foods that maybe didn't fit your macros as easily. But then also it motivated you when you got back. It was a psychological break. And then also, I think you also, that played in your favor. You did a lot of cardio in EDC of dancing.
I did, yeah.
So coming back, you were in a good spot, and then you just took off from there, and that's why you had such great results. Because again, anyone watching, all I do is set the plan, dedicated clients, and I've been very fortunate to have some great clients, people like Kevin that just do the work, get it done, and get the results.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So I think there's a final quick question. I'll probably take this one, and then I got one last question for you. So what's your opinion on about apple cider vinegar? Have you used it during your whole diet process? I'll take this one. I think there's a research study on apple cider vinegar, and it did have a small benefit to dropping a little bit more fat loss. But I think there was like one study, and then there were a couple others that had no real effect. So I would say probably that's not going to be the main thing you want to focus on if your goal is weight loss. You're going to want to focus on your calories, where you're going to be sure that can have a huge effect on your weight loss, as opposed to apple cider maybe is going to help you lose 2% more weight. I would say put your money on the thing that's sure to get you results. So that is my opinion on apple cider vinegar. My last question for you, Kevin, is what is next for you? So what are your goals now moving forward? What's your game plan? So let us in on that.
So right now I'm sitting at 14% body fat, but I do want to continue like with this calorie deficit for just a little bit longer, maybe a couple more weeks to a month, just to get to like 12% first. And then from there, I'm going to begin my lean bulk phase. And I just want to see, you know, have like a clean, fresh plate and then just build on top of that. And then also right now, like I'm at the peak. Also right now, I'm like at the peak of like with learning nutrition, and I just want to learn as much as I can. And then hopefully advocate for like my friends, my family, and whoever else wants to listen to like really focus on like just eating right.
Awesome, awesome. Yes, and I think you're doing it in the best way possible. Right now, you're leading by example. You set a goal, you accomplished it because of the discipline that you applied to it, and now you have these gems of knowledge. So, hey, mom, no, don't go for the apple cider vinegar. Let's track your total calories throughout the day if you want to lose 5 pounds. Hey, and then you can tell, hey, dad, like you don't have to eat 8 meals a day. Like let's focus on your total caloric intake. So now you have these kinds of things.
Exactly.
You've made that transformation. I'm sure you're inspiring many with that. But I want to say thank you so much, Kevin, for hopping on this Q&A with me. Do you have any, I guess, final thoughts? Anything you want to touch on?
Couple of things I do want to say. So for the first one, for people who are going through the program right now, I just want to remind you guys, like, you know, just whenever you hit like a brick wall or like whenever you want to just give up, just keep reminding yourself of like all the reasons why you started the program in the first place, because that will like get you up, get you to the gym, and that's the most important. It's just focus on discipline and then just getting to the gym. It doesn't have to be doing your best. Just get to the gym and slowly over time you're just going to get better and you're just going to achieve your goals easier that way. And then lastly, I do want to say is just I want to take this time to really say thank you to you, Kevin. Like thank you so much for all of your time and helping me like get into the best shape of my life. You know, you really turned around a lot of stuff for me and as my trainer.
Awesome, awesome. I appreciate that a ton. Thank you so much, Kevin, and thank you for trusting me, some tall guy on the internet, to get you the right kind of game plan for you. So, again, the results don't come unless you're working for them. So, thank you for being that kind of client who gets it done. But that's going to close us out for this Q&A. Again, thank you so much, Kevin, for joining us. Thank you, everyone who has been watching and submitted some questions. But I'll see you guys probably next week. But everyone, good night, and thank you for watching.
Peace.